All right, welcome back to the Straight Facts YouTube. I'm Kyle Sirik here with Jake Galley and James Jackson. And today we're talking about the Lakers. The Lakers have completely remodeled their team, typical LeBron fashion. They've added 7 players in free agency and traded Russell Westbrook in a deal that saw them get rid of Kyle Kuzma, KCP, and Montrezl Harrell. So they've seemingly neglected the three-point shot, and they've used free agency to now become the oldest team in the league. My question is, James, are the Lakers making the right moves this offseason?
I mean, Jake, you've known me for a very long time. Kyle, you've known me for a good bit now. Am I ever going to doubt LeBron? LeBron can go and get a ragtag group of toddlers, and I'd be like, he's making the right move, man. Let me tell you why. But I do think he's making the right move, and I've seen LeBron do this complete roster turnover like 2 times in recent memory. The 2018 Cavs and the 2019 going into 2020 Lakers. Both of those teams went to the finals. Like both the times he overhauled the roster and was like, y'all had your chance to build it, my turn. He got a championship out of it. And I think LeBron knows exactly what he needs on his team. Yes, they did sacrifice some shooting, and I think they're going to have to make up for that. But the Lakers, ever since LeBron got there, have been a top 5 defensive team. That's where they're going to make up for it. And they always run on that strength. And that's going to take them to the finals. Russ adds just at least a little bit of, adds that or matches that tenacity on the defensive end. But I think Bron needs like takeover guys. Bron needs like go-getters. And we have the NMPG, not my point guard from Russ. And I'll continue to stand on that. One thing I will not doubt, or I will give Russ his credit, he's a go-getter. And Bron's tired of, hoping that guys want to go get it. Yelling at KCP, I want you to shoot it. You don't ever got to yell at Russ, I want you to shoot it. That's never something you got to say. So I just think LeBron knows exactly what he needs or the pieces he needs around him. He's not afraid to go get it. And he wants experience over young bucks. That's why he got Andrew Wiggins up out of here and traded for Kevin Love when he got back to Cleveland. I don't want young bucks. I want guys who've been around the block.
Yeah, that's a great point. And this will be the ultimate. It is like the unstoppable force versus the immovable object. The LeBron is always right versus NMPG. One must go. One must fall. Because, they're really put like Kyle, you kind of listed off all the accolades they're picking up. The oldest, no shooting. They're spending a ton of money. And in the end, I don't really think any of it matters, obviously, if you win a championship. And adding Russell Westbrook to your team for Kuzma and Bleh is like, and Kuzma probably is included in that Bleh, but that gets you closer to a championship. Like, even if the fit isn't ideal, you now add another, as you said, James, go-getter, another guy who is an all-around basketball player and can do a lot of things on the basketball court at an extremely high level in Russell Westbrook. So it will be one of the most hated teams this upcoming year. Like, I would have to say, people hate LeBron, people hate Westbrook, they hate the Lakers, and
they're leaning into that.
It's good, right? They're leaning right into it.
And what you got to remember, what a lot of people got to remember is when, especially, I think, LeBron, but when teams make moves, they get, fans get nitpicky about it. And they're like, oh, well, it's not a fit because X, Y, Z. It don't got to be a perfect fit. When you add a player like Russ to a team who has LeBron James and Anthony Davis, let me tell you, it don't got to be perfect. Them, just as short, talented basketball players, make up for a lot of the imperfections on that team. Like, it's just what's going to happen. They're going to beat you just because there are 3 of them. You have 3 of the top 15 players in the league, and you don't.
Look at the 2 finals teams this year were in similar situations, good teams. They add a guard, a star guard that doesn't necessarily fit. I mean, they fit in a sense, but it's not like a perfect, they're not adding anything new that the team already doesn't do well. And yet Drew Holiday and Chris Paul were able to be massive pieces in getting their teams to the finals. So we could be sitting here, a year from now saying the same thing about what Russell Westbrook did to the Lakers. But, ultimately, I think it comes down to injury luck somewhat. And then also, what does the East look like if you're looking to win a final against them?
Yeah, I like the Russ trade, to be honest. And you mentioned how the pieces, like, why not take Russ? It's the other stuff that he did with the roster. I mean, you had, and I say him, meaning LeBron. This is LeBron's team. This is not run by Rob Pelinka. This is LeBron. Pelinka. You can just tell with all these moves. Yeah, it's like some of the free agencies. I like getting Malik Monk. I think he can break out. I like getting Kendrick Nunn. But outside of that, it's like Trevor Ariza, Carmelo Anthony. I mean, Dwight could be a good bench piece, but it's just like they could have done more. You could have at least like found a maybe shooter, right? Like, is Trevor Ariza even a shooter anymore? I don't think so.
No.
Malik Monk can be. Kendrick Nunn is now probably a backup point guard. I mean, I think there was other stuff you could have done there, but I think the Lakers got better. I think the Lakers got better in terms of as a team and their chances in the West. I know they were probably the NBA favorites going into last season, and I expect them to be now, but I think they're a better team than they were.
He's doing it. He saved it at the end. They are a better team than they were, because you were getting nitpicky. Like, they got so much talent on that team that, like, they may be in the latter part of the NBA in 3-point shooting. They may be. They're going to be tops in the NBA and pretty much everything else.
Yeah, this is going to really test the theory that, like, it's a shooting, the Warriors changed the NBA forever. We're going to see, because
the Lakers weren't a great 3-point shooting team before this. Like, Danny Green was their 3-point shooter the past couple of years.
They brought in, it's funny, this offseason, you look at, like, the positional breakdown. They either signed or re-signed 5 guys who are classified as shooting guards. But not all of it, like, really only...
They signed Wayne Ellington, too?
Wayne Ellington is really kind of the only shooter. You got Talen Horton-Tucker coming back. Kendrick Nunn really isn't necessarily a shooter. Ellington probably is, but then you have Bazemore and Malik Monk, who aren't known for their shooting. Malik Monk, by the way, 23 years old. I was shocked to learn that fact. He feels like he's been around forever, but I guess
he was in college when we were in college.
Yeah. The only issue is
it's apt.
I got an issue with half of your team was playable on like NBA 2K10. That's not good. It's bench guys back then, like Wayne Ellington, Trevor Ariza. Like, why? It's stupid, bro. I mean, they could be alright.
Because I want guys who've been there.
All right.
Trevor Ariza.
It is that.
Trevor Ariza got scars. Trevor Ariza got battle wounds. Like, I can tell Trevor Ariza been in them trenches before. That's what I want. I can tell Russ been in them trenches before. That's what I want.
But
you don't want someone who's
in the locker room.
I need
Trevor Ariza on the court in 2022.
KCP too. When some shit goes down on the court and Trevor Ariza out there scrapping for you, yeah, you do.
Right, when you need some mop-up minutes, you never know where something will go.
And that's the thing. Trevor Ariza might play 10 to 15 minutes a night. Like, maybe. Trevor Ariza is end of the bench guy.
That's great.
Like,
say it was Wayne Ellington, though. He's not going to play.
No, I think because that's their shooting. I think Wayne Ellington, he might find his way on the floor. But it might just be bully ball. Y'all can shoot, but like the Lakers are meant to intimidate people. Like, you can't tell me if you're the Magic, okay, and you got 3 dudes who were born in the 2000s and they're warming up on the other side of the court. They're looking at it like scared shitless that LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, and Anthony Davis are about to tip off against them. What? Like, you can't tell me.
Playing against
Cole Anthony.
That'll be the fun part. That'll be the fun part. If they do win and like just like, oh, you don't need shooters to win today. But I think it's also like just LeBron.
Yeah.
But it would be a fun year to have a team that like just doesn't shoot the 3 ball. It'd be refreshing for the NBA.
Yeah.
It is crazy. One last point here before we move on is that LeBron will be playing against, I think Josh Christopher is the guy's name, who was a teammate of his son's. LeBron is playing against his son's teammates.
Zaire Williams and Brandon Boston.
Zaire Williams,
that's
right.
Both of them. And next year, Amari Bailey. And
then
after that,
his son.
Bronny. The ultimate full circle, man. 360 up front. That's crazy.